When you hear about Lebanon, it's usually war, crisis, and instability. And while that's part of the truth, it's not the whole story. This video isn't here to sugarcoat anything, it's here to show the full picture. The picture that you don't see in the news. Come with me and discover why millions in the Lebanese diaspora dream of the moment they step into the airport to finally return home. Getting to Lebanon isn't as simple as booking a quick flight. But once you land, it hits you. The light, the air, the sun. First stop, the haven. A quiet hilltop above Charbel, serving views as good as the breakfast. Downhill, we step into the old souk of Charbel. Where every stone tells a story and every souvenir shop sells you one. It's one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, which makes it very rich in terms of heritage. Don't worry though, it still has Wi-Fi. Just a short walk away, the port of Byblos. Once the beating heart of Phoenician trade, now the perfect backdrop for an over-filtered Instagram post. Boats, breeze, and history so dense it almost feels like time slowed down here. And to wrap it up, a donut from Dunkin', because even after 7,000 years of history, cravings are still very 2025. Up in the mountains of Hanea, we visited the hermitage of Saint Charbel, Lebanon's most beloved monk, mystic, and miracle worker. Born in 1828, Charbel Makhlouf left everything behind to live a life of solitude, prayer, and silence. He spent his final years here, in a tiny stone cell, away from the noise of the world, seeking nothing but divine peace. After his death in 1898, stories of healings and answered prayers began spreading fast across Lebanon and later the world. Today, his tomb at the monastery of Saint Maroun is a place of pilgrimage, not just for Christians, but for people of all faiths who believe in something bigger than themselves. Whether you're religious or not, there's stillness here that says you're standing somewhere sacred. From prayer to pints, next up, community in Batroun. Great cocktails, chill vibes, and just the right amount of existential crisis to pair with your drink. After city vibes, we hit the rocky shores of Kfar Abida, my personal favorite. It's a hidden gem where the Mediterranean crashes against ancient stones and the air tastes like salt and adventure. And because no trip is complete without a little local expertise, I learned how to pick up mussels straight from the rocks. Turns out it's part skill, part balance, and 100% fun, especially when you don't drop half of them back in the sea. Batroun might be known for its beach clubs, but let's talk priorities. Food. Satar zet for a mighty kafta, then roadster for salads we didn't need, but definitely wanted. Later that night, we wandered through the old souk of Batroun, stone alleys, warm lights, and the smell of sea breeze and history. Just steps away, the port was quiet. Batroun, the famous rescued pelican, was asleep, unfortunately. Time to hit the mountains, but first fuel. A quick stop at Halab Batroun for Knefi Ashta that could honestly win awards. Sweet, creamy, and more than enough sugar to carry us to the clouds. Our first real stop in this road trip, the monastery of Oshaya, dedicated to Saint Anthony the Great, a place of silence and strength nestled deep in the Kadisha Valley. Here, we also found something unexpected. The oldest printing press in the Middle East, hidden inside a stone-walled museum. A quiet reminder that Lebanon didn't just preserve faith, it also preserved knowledge. Visiting the different grottos added charm to the experience. I wonder though why people left their kitchen utensils in here. Does anyone know? If yes, please drop us some hints in the comments. Next up, سيدة الحصن in إهدى. 2,000 meters above sea level, and yet somehow we can still spot the sea. It's surreal. Snowy peaks in winter, and down there, the Mediterranean. Just shimmery. We ended our road trip in Mizyara at the shrine of Our Lady of Mercy. Around the chapel, sculptures of biblical scenes quietly tell their stories. And if you climb the tower up to the Virgin Mary herself, you're rewarded with the full view of Lebanon's northern mountains, calm, majestic, and humbling. Back in Beirut, chaotic, resilient, unforgettable. We started at Zaytuna Bay, a calm stretch of yachts and restaurants. Then made our way to the memorial of Rafiq Hariri, assassinated just steps away from the St. George Hotel. His story still echoes through the city. Despite everything, crisis, collapse, uncertainty, Beirut hasn't given up. It pulses, it adapts, it dares to smile. We visited Saint Louis Church, built by Capuchin monks in the 1800s. Then headed to the Beirut souks, revived and buzzing. The city is trying to breathe again, one shopping bag at a time. Place de l'Étoile, elegant but eerily empty. The parliament stands closed, symbolic. A few steps away, the Orthodox Cathedral of St. George. Through the ancient Cardo Maximus, we witnessed unity translated by the proximity of St. George Maronite Cathedral and Muhammad Al-Amin Mosque. We reached the Roman bath after passing next to Sarai. Layers of Beirut side by side. History doesn't hide here, it shares the streets. Martyr Square, where generations stood for change. Every Lebanese would remember the 2 million protesters filling it in 2005. Then, coffee in Saifi Village, a neighborhood where aesthetics meet stillness. Base Coffee was a lovely discovery. On our way out, we passed Zaha Hadid's unfinished building, like much of Beirut. For the first time, I braved the Lebanese public bus, zero regrets. It dropped me off in Tabarja, where we found a spot called Al Shat, which literally means by the beach. Next stop, Msayalha Fortress, or the view of it. A green enclosure had other plans, so we admired it from a respectful and slightly annoyed distance. So we headed north to Anfim, a village with some bleached walls, friendly street dogs, and that perfect salt in the air smell. The strong winds made our hopes of spending a day on the beach diminish. But at Tahtarir, it's all white and blue like Lebanon's answer to Santorini. We swam, sunbathed, and slowed down. No plans, just sea and sun and silence. Back in Naash, we ended the day at Le Noir, a patisserie where Beirut's own chocolate gets the spotlight, but the real star, the Mary Cream. The next morning started with the familiar faces in a familiar place. Lebanese friends we met back in France now reunited at the Beirut waterfront. Some jogging was definitely needed that morning. Breakfast? At Beit, which literally means home. Tucked into a traditional Beirut house in Marmkhil, it's part cafe, part time machine. We had scrambled eggs, strong Lebanese coffee, and soaked up with the kind of calm that only a traditional inner garden can procure. Then to the Sirsut Museum, sitting at the top where modern Beirut meets the echoes of its past. Visited Nicolas Sirsut's office. Stepped into the traditional Arabic saloon. And admired Abdelhamid Kbalbaki's bold, earthy collection. Downstairs, things got more abstract. Columns made of soil from different regions, layered like memory, like time. And the witness recounting Smyrna's painful loss, reminding us that displacement has always had a face. We ended the day just next door in Jemais, a street that still carries Beirut's pulse. Part survival, part style. Another road trip, this time to the south. First up, Karkha, where we zigzagged through sheep to reach a small shrine dedicated to John the Baptist. Quiet, humble, powerful. By the giant white statue, an immense oak tree stood like a local guardian. We reached Jezim and stepped into St. Rafa''s church. New, modern and alive with the sound of mass. St. Rafa'a, the suffering nun of Lebanon, still draws people seeking healing and hope. Then I walked down to the foot of Lebanon's highest waterfall, about 90 meters of crashing beauty. We rested under an oak tree to sip coffee and just listened. Sometimes that's enough. The waterfall's source once fed a grotto that resembled Jaita, but an earthquake changed everything. In the plaza of Hadid Kanaan, we had sandwiches, fattoush, and that unbeatable taste of a road trip lunch. Before leaving, we flagged down a local merchant selling green chickpeas known as Rayban. Then came the climb to the fortress of Niha. Carved into the cliffside, this medieval hideout was once used by emirs like Fakhreddin, who would reach Jezim from here, fleeing the Ottomans. The rebel leader Tarnus Shaheen probably used it too in the 19th century. With steep paths and no safety rails, it's not for the faint-hearted. But the view worth every step. Built between the 12th and 14th centuries, it served as a strategic lookout over the Bisri Valley. Our next stop was a Druze holy site dedicated to Prophet Ayub, known in the Quran and Bible for its legendary patience. The place feels remote, simple, and full of meaning. And finally, Mukhtara. The palace was closed, but the old watermills nearby were still there. We started the day the Lebanese way, with an open brunch at Batroun, Dvaye. Fresh bread, Lebanese eggs, manouche, fruit, and enough coffee to convince us we were ready for anything. Not far from here, at Nahr al-Kalb, we found stories carved in stone. Tableau etched into the rock honor Napoleon III, Lebanon's independence from France, the liberation of the south in 2000, and the Lebanese army. Next, Harissa. We climbed the steps to stand at the feet of Our Lady of Lebanon, her arms wide over the Bay of June. From up there, the view steals our breath and your words, and it's not just beautiful, it's grounding. Later, we drove into the hills of Batroun to visit Iksir Winery, one of Lebanon's finest. We explored the wine caves after learning about their vineyards. We tasted rosés, whites, and reds on the rooftop. Extra care was needed to walk straight by now. For lunch, we went coastal again, at Aleko in Kfar Abida for grilled Sultan Brahim, wild thyme salad, and flavors only the sea can season properly. And to end the day, after backyard hazmiyeh, to meet friends, because in Lebanon, no day is truly complete without good company. This is Lebanon, not just the headlines, not just the ruins, but the joy, the stories, the people who refuse to leave even when everything else does. And for those of us who left, well, we never really did.